Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're back out here on Call of the Wild. Now there's two things that I like almost the same. One is taking really far shots with the M1, and another is getting up close and personal with the bow. And we haven't done that in a while, so today we're going to be trying to bow hunt some nice bucks. Oh, one more thing, we're going to be doing it out of a tree stand, and it just so happens on a Layton Lakes, there's quite a few spots we can hang up a tree stand. Alright, so we just got to a spot where I saw a bunch of whitetail trotting off in the distance here, and we set up a stand, and I can already see one of the whitetails coming back in right here. Right there. That's a doe. I thought I saw a decent buck somewhere. There's another one there, so it looks like we have two. Another one there. Okay, let's get ready. They should be coming this direction. Now the wind's not perfect, but it's not absolutely horrible either. It's kind of blowing a little bit to the left and back at them, but not directly at them. Hold up, I definitely see a buck. Right in front of that doe, looks to be a pretty good sized whitetail buck. Hard to see, but he looks decent. Well, it looks like all the does came in, but I still don't see the buck just yet. Unless that would be him. No, that's another doe. Another doe. And yet another doe. Now, where would the big old buck... Oh, that's a buck. That's a buck. I don't know if that's the biggest buck, but it is a buck. And I'm pretty happy at that point. Okay, right there. We got a medium size. That's the regular size buck that we saw. But there's one a little bit bigger. And I'm hoping he steps out here. Wow, I didn't know they were going to come this close. So our tree stand isn't very high up. And that could be why they seem so close to us. But I'm still waiting for that big old buck. Yeah, I figured they wouldn't stick around too long. That's not the big buck. That's a decent buck. But there's a massive buck here somewhere. There he is! There he is, guys! I am so glad we waited. But that's him right there. He's about 30 yards out, coming right to us. We don't have a good wind at this point, but hopefully he turns to the right side here. Holy, that's a massive buck. Look at how all the bucks are to the right side of us. And then this big old buck is way over here in this thick brush. And he's trying to smell us. Look at that. He's coming right underneath us. Hopefully he turns out this way. I mean, he's definitely in range. Look at that. Beautiful whitetail. 27 yards out. Okay, come on. Keep going a little bit further. Alright, I think we might go for this if he steps out a little bit more. Yeah, I figured he was going to do that. Come on. Just keep coming a little bit more. Don't stop right there. Alright, if he's gonna stop right there, we're taking him. He smoked. Big whitetail buck down. Wow, that was a long time we had to wait for him. We had a real decent whitetail here as well. But I knew there was a bigger one somewhere. We just had to be a little bit more patient, wait for him to step out, and that's exactly what happened. Alright, let's go grab our big old whitetail buck. Look at the size of the rack on that thing. And just tons of points. That is a massive whitetail. Yeah, just like that right there. That's going to look awesome. And let's pick him up. He's going to score 240. We got a double lung liver at 25 yards out on him. That's a giant whitetail buck. He weighed 198 pounds, and guarantee we're getting that thing mounted. Huge gold whitetail right out of the tree stand at 25 yards out. Wow, he was being tough. He really was. And I was trying to wait for him to step out in the open to join with the rest of the herd, but he never wanted to. So as soon as he turned broadside for that 1 second, we just had to take the chance, and we did, and we smoked him. And he is a beauty. Wow. If she would stop for a second, I could take that. Well then, we're gonna take that. She smoked. Oh. That should take her down right there. Awesome. So that was a double lung shot at 23 yards out. She's a brown fur type, kind of a cool fur variant there. And let's take a look at that shot placement. I mean, yeah, she was smoked. Tucked it right behind the front shoulder and centered both lungs there. We'll get 1,000 cash out of that. And before we go to the next spot, I kind of want to show you where this spot actually is. Okay, so let's show you where this spot actually is. We're on the south end of the map over here, and we're right by the Belmont Railroad, and there's a river that goes across here. We are maybe like 100 yards to the west side of this river here, and I have a tent set up right here, maybe like 60 yards away from this railroad track, and basically we are only 100 yards away from our tent. So technically from the railroad, we have our stand set up right here, and our stand is only about 60 yards away from the railroad. Now, the way you'll know what the spot looks like is, actually, let's go over here because we got to grab our tree stand anyways. I don't plan on leaving this here. But once you get over here, okay, so there's where our whitetail are. I was going to tell you that too. The time to come here is anywhere between, well, we have a rest zone here from midnight until 5 o'clock in the morning, basically. But when we got here, it was 8 o'clock in the morning. So the way I look at it is whitetail will rest from midnight all the way until about like 11:30, and then by 12 o'clock is when they start to head over to the water, and that's when they drink. So from midnight until 11:30 in the morning, you could hunt this whole area here, and most likely you're gonna find whitetail. So I was just about to head over to my next location where I'm pretty confident I know there should be some decent whitetails. I've seen several there in the past. But then I picked up a track right here, and it took me a while, but eventually I figured out where it went. All the way back here I tracked it. It's a max weight potential whitetail, and it led me to right here, this zone from 5:30 until 9 o'clock. That is an eating zone. So over here we have a resting zone from, well, basically kind of the same time, midnight until 5 o'clock in the morning. And over here we have an eating zone from 5:30 until 9. Now it's already almost 9, so I don't really know how this is going to work. I've never seen this buck before. I'm kind of curious to see how big he's going to be, and also there's a whole herd of whitetails that are with this buck that I've just never found before, so I'm really excited to see what's going to happen. Well, we found a pretty good spot here, and I decided to set up a tree stand here. Now that buck should be coming from the west side over here, which is right underneath this railroad bridge, and if he does that, he should come back past us here, and eventually hopefully we can have him come into range. Alright, so we've been sitting here waiting for about 10 minutes now, and we got some bucks over there. A buck, a doe, and I saw another buck. Actually, I saw a doe here. Okay, so we have a buck and 2 does, but this might actually be a different herd, because this is not the track from the same buck as this one. That's a 154 to 187. We have a track from a max weight potential whitetail buck here somewhere, so he can't be too far away. Look at this, they're all right underneath us. The whole herd is right underneath us. We're still waiting for the giant, but we do have, what do we have? 2 bucks here? You know what? He might be over there. We got a doe right there. Another doe. He might be in this herd. Typically, he'd be out in the front. I mean, we've seen so many deer here so far, but I can't find him anywhere. Oh my god, there he is. 241 to 300 score on that giant whitetail buck. So we've been sitting here for about 25 minutes now, just for this exact moment. And it is definitely worth it. Oh my god. Okay, so we have this doe right here about to walk underneath us. She's about 30 yards out. Now, if she's taking this path, I feel like that massive buck should come the same direction and come right down here, because this is where they should be. So we've been calling for, yeah, like 30 minutes now. And we finally got eyes on this massive whitetail buck, which we might have to go for like a 60-yard shot here, to be honest, because he is being really, really stubborn. I mean, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and let him come as close as he can, but I really don't think he's going to come in. Okay, come on. 48 yards away. He's still standing there. Just got to be patient. Let him step out a little bit further and wait for him to turn broadside. I mean, yeah, you could take that front on shot like that with the bow, but you really shouldn't, especially at 40 yards. You could take that at 20, definitely, but that's 50 yards basically right there. All right, here we go. Here we go. He's stepping forward. He's stepping forward. Look at that. 40 yards out. Beautiful whitetail buck coming in. Right to us. Okay, let's get our bow ready, because he's definitely in range now. I don't love that angle, but I think we should be alright. He's about to walk right underneath us. If you would stop. It's not going to, is he? Nope, he's not going to. So he's going to walk right behind us, which will still be okay. And we're just going to take him on the walk. Monster buck down. Whew. Finally. Man, that thing took a lot of patience, but it was well worth it. We ended up passing up, I think, like 6 or 7 different bucks while we were waiting. But we knew one thing. The one that we wanted was definitely this guy. Alright, I think that's going to look pretty sweet right there. So we'll take a shot and maybe we'll stand up. Yeah, I like that a lot, actually. Let's go with that. And let's pick him up. He's going to score 263. That's our biggest whitetail so far. And we made a right lung and heart shot on the walk at 12 yards away. But 263 is an absolute giant whitetail buck. Look at the rack on that. We just got a 240 whitetail, which I thought was huge. And this thing scores 20 points more. And he's only about 12 points off from being a diamond. But definitely going to get this thing mounted. Let's take a look at the true score on him. Tip to tip inside spread of 27 inside. A 27 inside whitetail buck. Can you imagine how big that buck is? Holy. But it took a long time and a lot of patience, but it definitely paid off when we made it connect on this giant whitetail, and I ended up making a right lung and a heart shot on that buck out of the tree stand, walking at 12 yards away. Beautiful whitetail, and like I said, we're definitely going to get him mounted as well. Ooh, this is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, and honestly, I'm glad it is this hard, because this is what it's all about. It takes concentration and a lot of dedication and time to be able to make this stuff happen. So we have our stand set up. We're actually over here by Hope's Camp, it's called. The way to find it is go to Belmont Outpost, which is this one right here. Just go to the west, follow this railroad all the way down here. Actually, I don't think it's a railroad. That's just a, what is that? It's just a trail, okay? So you follow this trail right down here, and there'll be a stand right here. We have our tent set up right here, about 80 yards away, and the zone is right here from 5:30 till 9 o'clock. We ended up getting here at like 6:30, I think. So we basically waited almost 2 game hours for that giant whitetail to come in. Well, we decided to wait a little bit longer to see if those bucks come back in, but instead we have a doe here about 20 yards out. I think we're going to try and take her down, and hopefully the bucks will come in here soon, but I don't think it's going to spook too much if we take her down. So we'll just take a nice double lung shot on her, and she is down. But the bucks should be coming in from over here, and since they're not in range yet, I don't think they should spook from that shot. Alright, I think we found him. Right there is one of our bucks. That's definitely a decent buck that we saw from before. So, just to give you an idea of what we've been dealing with here, we were sitting here for another about 20 minutes waiting for this whole herd of whitetail to come back. And I didn't think they were going to come back. I mean, we got the doe, now we have another doe here, but they're finally about to step out. There's one buck there, and I saw another one over there. But in this case, I think we're just going to go for this one, because this is probably going to be the bigger of the two anyways. So we have a good wind. Let's just let him come in and see what happens. Alright, well it looks like the rain's about to calm down right now, and our buck is coming right underneath us. He should stop right there actually. If he does, it'll be perfect. He has stopped. I don't really love that angle, but we're definitely gonna go for it, and we dropped him. Tucked it right behind the front shoulder. We might have caught vertebrae as well, because it was kind of high up, but we got him. So let's grab our doe and double lung. 558 cash, but that's a nice double lung. And here he is. Let's grab him. So I'm pretty sure this is the bigger of the two bucks that we saw. Obviously we got the massive buck in the very beginning, but that's a nice bonus. And right lung, liver, stomach just missed the vertebrae at 11 yards away. A 181 whitetail is a really nice whitetail buck, so I'm pretty happy with that. And now let's head on over to our next spot. So I thought maybe we'd switch it up a little bit and try and go after some big blacktail. I headed over to my favorite spot here, and I spotted a massive buck. I couldn't get a spotting on him yet, but he ran up over this hill here. So we just set up a tree stand, and I'm hoping he comes in. Oh, here they come, here they come. That's him, that's him. He's a big 4. Okay. He's a giant 4. But I'm wondering if they're gonna come this way. Alright, well there's the 3. And there's our buck. So our buck is 160 yards away. He's still drinking. What's interesting, 9 o'clock. He should not be drinking right now. Why is he drinking? He should, oh, hold on. 9:30, so maybe we have about 10 more minutes. Even though the zone ends at 9:30, it's 9:47 right now, but sometimes they stay a little bit longer than what they're supposed to. So that's why he's down there drinking. And 157 yards is way too far for the bow. Well, we waited several minutes for this guy, and he doesn't seem to want to come in. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the sneak on him. We're going to go prone, and we're going to try and get as close as we can. Alright guys, so we just got to about 60 yards away from this huge blacktail buck. Now, we really can't get too much closer because, look, there's no cover anywhere between us and him. So I'm pretty confident at this distance. So if we can zero in for 60, I'll be really happy with that. 54. Perfect shot. Big buck down. That's what I'm talking about. We're waiting for a pretty good while for that buck to come in. Like I said before, he showed absolutely no interest in coming in. We had that other buck come in, and we did take him down while we're waiting for this buck, but finally, we managed to put the sneak on him and got an awesome shot on this huge blacktail. He should score pretty well. That's a great blacktail buck, so let's take a picture of him. And look at the tracer lit up just like that. Wow. Yeah, that's going to be a pretty well scoring blacktail. Alright, well, let's pick him up. And he's going to score 192. Ended up with a double lung shot at 60 yards out. That's a big old gold blacktail right there. And I think we might get him mounted. Let's take a look at that shot though. 60 yards out, perfect double lung. And yeah, let's get him mounted. But before we do that, let me show you where our last stand location is at here. We're over here by Mushroom Lake, and basically that's by the Chille outpost. Wait a second, I thought this is the Chille outpost. Okay, so this is the Chille southern outpost. This is just the regular Chille outpost. Basically, it's just to the south of this high lake right here. Just go right here. And anyways, I have a stand set up right here. And the blacktail rest zone is right here from 9 until 13. But apparently, the blacktail just decided to sit here and drink all day long. So we had to sneak up on him and take him down right here. But with that, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you have a good rest of your week. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.